Tu vas faire une musique, non? Tu vas enlever les micros.
Yeah. Mute.
Well, it is 6:05, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Is everybody doing okay tonight? Yeah? Feel free to put into the chat one word, couple words how you're doing, but welcome. Really love that everyone is here. Okay, can everybody see my screen? It says FJ Myers Recreation Center percent for art. Wonderful. So I'm going to start by giving you the agenda for the evening. We're going to be together for about 90 minutes. So in a moment, I'm going to do some welcome and introductions, and then I'm going to quickly go over FJ Myers Percent for Art overview. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about us, Creative Philadelphia, and also about the artwork that's coming to the FJ Myers Recreation Center. And then the most important part, I'm going to hand it over to our 4 artist finalists, and they're each going to give you 10-minute presentations about artwork that they would like to put up at the center. Then we're going to open it up to a Q&A where we can hear from you all. And then at the very end, we're going to talk about next steps, which include a public survey. And we hope that you'll fill it out and that you'll also share it with people in your networks. So who's in the room tonight? I'll start with myself. My name is Paige Phillips. I use she, her pronouns. I am a Percent for Art project manager at Creative Philadelphia, and I'm joined tonight by 2 of my colleagues, and I will let them introduce themselves. Marguerite, would you like to go?
Sure. Thanks, Paige. Hi, everyone. I'm Marguerite Anglin. I'm the Public Art Director with Creative Philadelphia. So excited to be here. This is probably my favorite part of every project.
And we're also joined by Marie.
Hi, everybody. My name is Marie. I'm also a Percent for Art project manager, so I'm a second page, and I'm super excited to see these proposals and hear the artists talk.
And then we are also joined tonight by some artists. These are 4 artist finalists. Some of them are groups, and I'm going to let them give quick introductions as well. And let's just go in alphabetical order.
And good evening, everyone. My name is Reginald Adams. I'm based in Houston, Texas, but I love traveling the world, spreading creativity to different communities with a focus on community-based public art, and excited to bring a vision to the Philadelphia community through a presentation this evening. So thanks to Creative Philadelphia for the opportunity. That's all.
Thanks. I think Musana's trying to unmute.
Okay. Sorry, I was muted. Hello, everyone. Happy to be here. Thank you all for coming. And my name is Musana Ali.
Kansi.
Kansi, or he goes by Kansi. Amadou Kansi, his full name. And we are really excited to present to you. We're here in Senegal, West Africa, at 11 p.m. and trying to keep it together until this is over.
They let me
Thank
know
you.
they had some coffee though, right? So, okay. Eric and Femi?
Is Eric here?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, hi. All right, go ahead, Eric.
No, you go ahead. You start.
All right, my name is Oluwafemi, or Femi for short, and I'm one half of the dynamic duo of myself and Eric Oakday, the master mosaic artist of Philadelphia. And yeah, we're just extremely excited to be here and excited to do it for the city.
Absolutely. My name is Eric Oakday. I've been a muralist and a mosaicist based out of Philadelphia for 28 years now, and I'm excited for this opportunity to do something for Myers Rec and for Femi as well. I've always been a big fan of his work, and I'd love to see what he could do. I'd love to translate his work into glass. And thank you for the opportunity.
hey everyone, I'm Sharmis Ray, and I'm speaking to you from the other side of Pennsylvania, from Pittsburgh. Um, Thank you all for having me here amongst these other very wonderful and talented artists. And thank you, Creative Philadelphia, for inviting me to be a part of this project. It's really great to be here and to share my ideas with you.
Thanks. And you all are going to get to hear more from the artists in a second. And I'm realizing I don't have a slide for our committee members, but I see a lot of committee members in the house. So we don't have time for you to each give an introduction, but can you give me like a little pop or whatever something to be like, hey, I'm a committee member. Awesome, thank you. And then there's some names that I don't recognize. So I think we have some people from the community as well. So thank you so much for also joining. Okay, so really quick, I'm going to give you a Percent for Art overview. Our mission. The City of Philadelphia's Percent for Art program commissions beautiful and enduring artworks which reflect the diversity of Philadelphia's residents and visitors, its rich cultural landscape, its many histories, and the variety of public spaces in Philadelphia's communities. Now, Percent for Art, what is that? This is a Percent for Art project, just FYI. They are city-funded major renovation or construction projects trigger the city's Percent for Art requirement. Percent for Art designates 1% of the total project cost to site-specific permanent public art. Funding for the city's Percent for Art program goes directly to emerging and established artists or artist teams to create and install the work. So basically, anytime there's a construction or renovation project on government property, if that budget is over $1 million, we designate 1% of that budget toward new public art, and we have public art all over the city. And so FJ Myers is going to be one of our latest additions. So now I'm going to go over what is actually coming to FJ Myers. Well, first, I'm actually going to tell you about the process that we've done so far. So this has been an open call. What you are seeing are the 4 finalists, but originally in June, we put out a request and we said absolutely anybody can apply for this. We had a lot of submissions and we formed a committee and they looked through all the submissions and ranked them and they came up with the 4 finalists that you're seeing today. So we're right now on part 2. And these 4 finalists have made proposals for some artworks. And that's where we're at now. So just so you know, community engagement is very important. It's a huge part of our process. Community input helps establish the goals for the art project. It informs the finalists about the community and what stories the artwork should tell. And it forms the Percent for Art committee selection of the winning artist and design. So some of you might have already been at one of our community engagement sessions. We met at I'm forgetting the name, a school right across from the recreation center. We had a really great turnout. People came and gave the artists some ideas of what they would like to see in the artwork and helped them understand the vibe of the neighborhood a little bit more. For all of our projects, we also create a Percent for Art committee, and they are a project-specific group of stakeholders. The Percent for Art committee includes several community residents and leaders who make the final selection of the winning artist and ensure the winning design reflects the voice of the community. So a lot of them, waved a second ago. They've been doing a lot of work on this, so thank you for everything you're doing. So what exactly are these proposals? What kind of artwork are we going to make? This project will be comprised of 2 complementary mosaic, glass or ceramic artworks at the renovated F.J. Myers Recreation Center. A prominent mosaic piece will be located on the exterior of the building's new addition, which faces a public pool, along with a piece placed at the center's interior entryway. The artwork's designs will be informed by community input, and the project will also include community engagement. So you'll not only see the designs that the artists are proposing, but you'll also get to hear about their plans for community engagement, which might sway your opinion about their proposals. So this is an aerial view of F.J. Myers. If you're familiar with the building, this is the part that's existing. So this is that main street. And then right up here is where the pool is. And so this is going to be the new gymnasium. So that exterior mosaic that I'm talking about is going to go along right here on this wall. So if you're coming in from the recreation center from the side, you'll be able to see it. If you're driving along the street, or even if you're at the pool, you'll be able to get a really good view of the mosaic. And then here's a mock-up. So this is not anybody's design. This was just something made in advance to sort of give you the idea of where a piece of artwork might go. And here's one other way to look at it. Gives you an idea of how big it's going to be. And then again, there will also be one that is inside as well. So this is a rendering of what the entrance is going to look like. And if you see this wall right here, this is where the interior one is going to go. And this is just a little portion of the wall. It's not the whole thing, but from this view, you can get a better idea of how big that wall is going to be. So this right here is the main entrance. You're going to walk in and bam, get to see that interior mosaic. So before we go on, I just want to see if there are any questions from the folks in the audience about Percent for Art or about the art project that's coming to F.J. Myers. All right, looks like we're good. So it's time for the artist proposals. Quick reminders. Each artist will present for 10 minutes. Please hold your questions for the end. You will get to ask them. We just want to wait till all 4 of them go. This says the chat will be open during the Q&A. You can still put stuff in the chat right now, but maybe hold your questions until the end. And then, this is very important. Please consider each proposal as a collection of artworks, not as individual pieces. So sometimes people are like, oh, I like the exterior piece from this one artist and I like the interior piece from another artist. Can we join the 2? Unfortunately, we can't. We're just going to pick one artist's vision. So just heads up, keeping that in mind. I also want to let you know a little bit about the survey. I'm going to introduce that at the end after all of the artists have given their presentations and you've had a chance to get your questions answered. But I want you to keep in mind some questions as you hear the presentations. These are 5 things that we're going to ask in the survey. So as you're listening to the presentations, it might just be helpful to keep them in mind. Like, how would I grade this? You'll get to rate them 1 through 5. So artistic excellence. Do the proposed mosaic designs reflect a visually harmonious and beautiful image? Does the artist's proposal demonstrate excellent craftsmanship? Originality. How fresh, inventive, and conceptually distinct is the artwork compared to other artworks you've seen before? Does it present a unique perspective that stands apart? Emotional qualities. Does the work evoke a deep emotional connection? Does it foster feelings of inclusivity, belonging, and communal pride? Alignment with community vision. How well does the image express the cultural spirit of the community? And finally, site appropriateness. Is the proposed work thoughtfully matched to the physical context of the site? Does it include imagery that reflects the neighborhood and natural environment? Okay, that's me. I'm done, and we're going to move on to the artist presentations. First up, we've got Reginald Adams.
Thank you very much, Paige. Paige, can you hear me properly? Can you give me a thumbs up? Excellent. So as Paige mentioned, my name is Reginald Adams, and I'm based here in Houston, Texas, and very excited to share with you a vision for a series of mosaics that we are calling We Are Stronger Together. It's a mosaic project that consists 2 parts, the exterior murals, in addition to an interior mural that transforms the F.J. Myers Recreation Center into a vibrant celebration of community, identity, heritage, and resilience, and composed of hand-cut glass. I think you can forward to the next slide. Yes, so composed of hand-cut glass and porcelain tile mosaics, the artwork features bold colors, intricate patterns, and symbolic imagery designed to reflect the spirit of King Sessing and the people who call it home. You can forward to the next slide. So I will actually, let's go to the visuals because this is some of what you'll be hearing as I describe it. So on the building's exterior, 7 vertical mosaic windows, not physical windows, but metaphoric windows, act as symbols of the heart of the community. Each pillar represents a facet of King Sessing's cultural landscape: health and wellness, environmental connection, artistic expression, youth and education, family, spiritual life, and social unity. Flowing upward into a radiant mosaic sunburst, these panels are united under a canopy of stained glass style patterns that represent interconnectedness and collective energy. And the imagery will be shaped directly by stories, symbols, and feedback shared by community members throughout this design process. Much of what was collected on our first site visit, when we had an opportunity to interface with some of the community members and committee members that are helping select the winning artists. So the next slide. So inside the Tree of Life mosaic anchors the central lobby space with branches, colorful butterflies, rich earth tones, and it symbolizes growth, transformation, and the rooted strength of a community that continues to strive through shared history and new beginnings. And like the exterior work, the interior mural is informed by local voices and grounded in the values and aspirations expressed by those who use the center every day. Community engagement is really critical to the way we interface with the community, and it's foundational to this project. So through design workshops and art making events, residents of all ages will celebrate and contribute their ideas, imagery, and even materials. Local youth will be invited to participate in parts of the fabrication, creating a learning opportunity and fostering community pride. And this collective process ensures that the final murals are not only beautiful, but deeply meaningful and living reflections of a neighborhood coming together in creativity and solidarity. And so there'll be aspects of both of these murals that we hope to bring back to Philadelphia, where local children and the children at heart will be able to help create this piece so that when we're done, not only is it something to take pride in visually, but also to take pride in the actual development and the renovation of this space. Next slide. And this speaks towards that aspect of community engagement. For those who have been following this project, vast majority of my public art projects involve local community members playing an active part in the co-creation of the work. And these are just various projects I've worked on here in Houston, where children, adults, elders, stakeholders, and the like have a chance to lay tiles, help us design the work, create tiles in some instances where we're fabricating handmade pieces. And I very much see bringing that spirit of inclusivity and engagement to the F.J. Meyer Rec Center and the mosaic murals we hope to produce. And I believe that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much, and I look forward to your questions or any feedback.
You are super speedy. Thank you. Since you have extra time, I think I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so people can get a better.
And how much time do I have left, Paige?
5 minutes.
Okay, so I'll talk about this design, which is really the central piece. In consideration of the wall and the viewing angles and viewpoints that this mural will be seen by, we wanted to take advantage of the entire wall, but without trying to overextend the budget. There's only a certain amount of resources that have been allocated. So the vision was to basically turn the mural into what could appear as stained glass windows or these mosaic portals. And so from the vantage point of the street, or if you're looking at it from the pool, rather than a rectangular or any other shape, we thought follow the pattern of the windows that are directly to the left and continue with that form, but space it out so that the actual square footage still satisfies some of the internal scope requirements, but at the same time takes the mural across the entire wall surface. And so in each design, there are elements of aspects that we heard were important. The nature, the gardening, the community. I personally love nature, and I think it brings us a spirit of vitality to see plants and animals and birds and flora and fauna. And then we know that the site is used by not only the children, but also the elders. So you have children flanked on both the left and the right side of different cultures and backgrounds looking towards the center. We have elders on the right side, closest to the center design, as a reminder of our ancestry and those who came before us. And then the center panel or window really shows I think exemplifies the title of the mural, which is We Are Stronger Together. And it's an embodiment of people coming from all walks of life, from all backgrounds, but standing under a rising sunburst. And so that sunburst is significant of the light that we all share, and perhaps the light that the FJ Center will bring back into this community once it's returned to the community and reopened. So for the most part, that was the design intention. If we can go to the interior mural, in bringing the nature theme inside, the tree of life is a very long-held symbol of connectivity between communities, multi-generational. And we wanted to use this symbol as a way of also engaging the community and helping co-create the mural itself. So some of these pieces, the butterflies, some of the leaves would actually be created by local community groups. And some parts of this mural would be fabricated. So when it's all done and the kids and elders and community folks are coming inside the space, not only are they welcomed by the beauty of this piece, but they would also be able to point out, this is the piece I made. And, you know, I remember creating this thumbprint or creating this butterfly or this leaf. And so the spirit of involving the community in the creation of the work is very important. And this will be one of the pieces where we can see that done most inclusively. So I'll use this as my point of closure for the presentation. And thanks again to Creative Philadelphia and to the community for getting us to this point of being able to share this vision. And I look forward to hearing your questions, and I salute and congratulate all the other artists in advance. Thank you, Paige. I'm complete.
Thank you so much. All right, just give me 1 second to reset my screen to the right size. Okay. All right, up next, artist number 2, Musana and Kansi.
Hey, greetings, everyone. We can look at the first slide. Our project is called A Gathering of Hands, and where it says here each person's effort, letting of hands is a powerful part of the foundation. The name of this project focuses on those hands. So this project is going to focus on hands. And before I get into the project itself, I wanted to give a little background on Kansi and I. We've been working together for over 25 years. We've worked with numerous communities in US and Africa and have traveled with our homeschooled children who work in these communities. Our youngest son, now 17, started when he was 1, breaking mosaic tiles, and continues to assist us and would probably come with us if we end up doing this mosaic. Can you go to the next slide, please? That's my son when he was little, on the top middle. Our mosaic work has been generally targeted to communities in their desire or need to become more cohesive to generate self-initiative and self-empowerment through art and to beautify those communities. Some of the projects were self-initiated by us, and some were commissioned by the communities or institutions. And these are just a few examples of those. We also run a rural arts center in Senegal, Center for Art and Holistic Development, where we work to improve the surrounding community by representing a place where unexpected magic can take place. The center has worked with international artists, volunteers, groups, and institutions from every continent. Worked with the elderly, village communities, homeless youth, intellect. So we have a vast, et cetera. And we really go to the next slide, please. So I'm going to begin talking about our outdoor work. This is the work we're presenting. It's a massive tree. It came about, it was conceptualized primarily in direct response to having been deeply moved by the Kingsessan community's very impressive cohesiveness and their love and their desire to evolve together from a perspective of honoring the past, present, and future. It gave us a really strong work.
Musana, can I pause you for a second? She seems to be frozen. Musana, let me know if you can hear me.
Community and
hey, Musana, can you hear me?
Gathering of hands because we saw the physical and energetic work that the community members make. Yes.
Okay, sorry, there's quite a lag. Okay, there's a lag. Sorry, you're having internet problems? Yeah, I'm going to try to put it in the chat for her.
Oh. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. It's hard to hear you. You keep breaking up. I want to suggest you turn on your video off because that might help. Yeah, just turn your video off for a second and then we'll just be able to hear your voice.
Okay.
Awesome.
Does that help?
I think it does. Yeah. Okay. So you might want to start again.
I'm trying to switch the internet connection.
Oh, okay. You might want to start again and talk about your exterior mural because it was cut up a little bit too much.
Okay, so the work we conceptualized came about primarily in direct response to having been deeply moved by the Kingsessan community and their already impressive cohesiveness, love, and desire to evolve together from a perspective of honoring the past, present, and future. It gave us a strong desire to work with the people of this community, and our concept, the gathering of hands, came about because we saw the physical and energetic work that the community members were making to this project. We felt that hands would most accurately represent this act of giving or contribution. We always include community in the actual making of our work. And in this case, it would be in a very direct way by inviting the community members to make impressions of their actual hands into clay slabs. And these slabs would then be carved out in the form of leaves. So at the top of the work, you can see the leaves that would have actual handprints in them. The community members' hands would be carved in, and then their names would be carved also into the clay. All of these handprints would make up all of the leaves of the tree and would represent the present and future generations of this community, from young to old, who would be united and who must be united in order to make a difference. The clay leaves from the handprints would be glazed in various colors, signifying the community's diversity as well as diversity in which the contributions are being made. In the same way, the colorful body of the tree symbolizes the many different contributions making up the solid whole. The roots of the tree, powerful, imposing, and solidly embedded in the earth, represent the ancestors and the came before to make the community and the gift of this art center possible. Their names will be engraved in the tree using ceramic tiles. The flying leaves surrounding the tree represent the ongoing connections between past, present, and future, and the connected energy that must be present to bring about a unified whole, and that presents itself, a unified whole that presents itself as this tree does, beautiful, unified, imposing, colorful, and giving. And we can now move to the indoor mosaic. This is sorry, I forgot about that slide. You can show it quickly. The other view of the tree. Okay, on the building. Okay, so the indoor mosaic, we'll go to that.
Next slide.
It uses the theme of hands again and is represented by a collection of sunflowers, a symbol of positivity, loyalty, spiritual light, vitality, good luck, longevity, abundance, and strength. In the central area of the mosaic, a central flower whose petals are made up of the ceramic casted hands of the community members, glazed in bright red, orange, and yellow colors. So the process of casting the hands is done using plaster, and the actual shape and form of the person's hands will appear in 3D form, in the form of ceramic clay. The sunflower petals represent its life force, as well as the central energy of the entire, which is symbolic of the community. So the whole entire image is a symbol of what the community represents, with the center of petals being the generating life force of that community, the people's giving and sharing. And so the mosaic as a whole, filled with words that represent what the community's values are, their joys, and their goals. The words will be contributed to the work by the community members, who will be invited to do so during workshops which you teach. And during the workshop, we teach the reverse painting technique. So in the little side, you can see the little, that's a sample of a reverse glass painting. So we'll be working with them to produce the works produced at the workshop will have a chance to be embedded in the mosaic when it's being put together. Other contributions to poetry and other objects can also be included in mosaic. Those individuals who are extremely motivated and who desire to do so could work with us to also learn the technique and assist us in a more a regular and more effective and regular way. So I just wanted to add, I don't know how much time I have, but I wanted to add that I'm originally from Philadelphia and grew up. I was and my parents were there, and I have a strong desire to work with this experience in many communities. Is that when we bring our work and in the work, some kind of a magic, and it seems to already be present. So it's really exciting to think about how, with what we have to offer, we could bring something even more powerful. So I don't know. Can't see. I think we done. I don't know how much time we have, but
Yes, you just hit the 10-minute mark.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was much better when you turned your video off. There were a couple of moments where there was silence, but then I think we all understood, right? The majority of what, yeah. Yeah, so awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, moving on to proposal number 3. We've got Eric and Femi.
There we go. I'm unmuted. Hi, everyone. Just a quick reintroduction. My name is Femi. Um, I'm a pattern artist that has been operating in Philly for 18 years, and I'm partnered up with the magnificent Eric Oakday, who has been a muralist and mosaic artist in Philly for 20, was it 28 years, he said? Wow.
28.
28. And I believe he also grew up for some time in the Concessing neighborhood or Southwest Philly. Is that correct?
In the Southwest, 65th and Elmwood.
Okay, right. That's close enough. And I also lived in I guess the adjacent neighborhood. I lived at 46th and Locust for 10 years, and w was a very active artist in West Philly as well. Working with places like Lola 38, and I remember we even threw a party to raise funds for what is now the Mariposa Co-op. Um, and so I believe Eric and I definitely shared like a mutual interest and desire to kind of give back to what Southwest, where we have a lot of love for. And I, in particular, as a West African, Southwest Philadelphia is super important to me because it's kind of like where my people are. And the distance between, say, like 66th and 46 holds kind of the magic that West Philly is, including the Concessing neighborhood, which, as was described to us by members of the community during our pre-proposal meeting, has enjoyed a lot of different kinds of people. Um, such a multifaceted neighborhood and multicultural neighborhood, which is the energy that Philly carries and what I love about the city so much. And so please go to the first slide page. Bam. All right. So from the pre-proposal, I think the strongest, I mean, I took away a lot. Um, and I think the first and strongest thing was that um, it was an intergenerational cast that were completely convincing that they showed up for each other and that they love each other. And so that really began my idea. Um, Something that really touched me was that, you know, in the beginning of our pre-proposal meeting conversation, people from the neighborhood talked up a lot of the awesome things that happened in the old rec center and a lot of the people that held it down for a long time. And then everyone chimed in and was like, well, you can't forget that the neighborhood has gone through some things and have lost many people, and there's been trouble, and that the community sticks together through it all. And that's why from that moment, really, I landed on the rose as an important symbol because, for one, the rose is present in good and bad times, and the rose is layered and nested, which I think is really important, which is a really important symbol of intergenerational multicultural society. Like, you got to respect the elders. The elders put the work down, and those after them take the mantle, and so on and so forth as you get down to the kids. And so the rose came to me as like a really strong allegory or a really strong example, something, a really strong symbol that could signify this like community that has a lot of people that have a lot of history and that recognize that, they have this rec center as a place where they recognize that they got to come and show up for each other. So at the heart of this rose, in the center of this rose, is a heart, and that's because it's love that runs the community. And in its petals are continuous. Thanks, thanks, Paige. And its petals are continuous, are different kinds of patterns. So, Paige, is it possible to like zoom out a little bit on this, um, and then like if you could just right, excellent. And so, if y'all can see, what I did was I filled up the petals with different motifs. And those motifs were informed by how people described their environment and what I know of West Philly. So you got some row homes in there, you got a butterfly. Somebody said I could not make a proposal without a basketball. So there's a basketball in there somewhere. Um, and I was very partial to the color red, both as a color of like vibrance, and as a color of like mourning for those that have passed. I threw in a bit of Cobb's Creek towards the left of it, and yeah, I just tried to pull different motifs that I could that remind me of Southwest, in addition to stuff that I heard from folks, and combine them into this rose. One of the petal on top represents the sun, and some of that sunlight is reflected moving through the flower in yellow color. All right, we can go to the next one, the interior design. Um, so this interior design piece, when I thought of the interior of the rec center, I kind of remembered all the times I've been in the Philly Rec Center. And I think the most common memory that never fails every time is kids running around. It's kids running in and they're running out, and adults are chasing them, and there's stuff happening, and you really feel like the pulse of the community, because it's kind of it doubles as a safe space, and like a space of movement, and a space of exercise, and a space of energy. And that inspired me to make this piece. Much in the style of the exterior piece, but a bit more abstract. I just wanted people to look at this piece and think movement. And so, in addition to these lines that are flying all over the place, I the entire color scheme is done in Philly team colors. So on the top you got the Eagles, and right after that we have the Flyers, and then right after that we have the Sixers, and followed by the Union. And this is the first time I had, as an artist personally, had looked at all the colors in the same place. And I got to say, we're doing a good job as a city picking colors for our teams, even though we're not coaching them right. But that's neither here nor there. This
That's beautiful. Just want to give you a 2-minute warning.
Right. And so that was my idea behind this piece, was a place of motion. Next slide, please.
So this is just some samples of my work. As I mentioned, I've been doing mosaic for quite a long time, and I work with the type of mosaic that I use. I don't work with tile. I use cut stained glass. So I get giant stained glass sheets, and I'm able to cut things down and work on really large surfaces, that and make the work truly seamless. And you can see these are just some examples of some of the level of detail I've gotten in some of my mosaics in the past. Um, okay, that next slide.
Oh, guys, and so the last piece, which I'm most excited about, is community engagement. And honestly, I almost felt like I had I've Philly has been kind in giving me the opportunity to host drawing clubs in the past, like for the past 4 years. And the drawing club is essentially a place where a community can get together and draw because it feels good. And in most cases, I've just thrown this event as a therapeutic and a meditative practice. But I also think, because this is how I synthesize ideas, it will be an amazing way to get the community at Consessing to contribute their ideas to our mural. And so my intent is to have at least 4 different drawing club sessions. And essentially each session is really simple. We come through, we have an inspiration in this case, which would be the murals for the rec center. And then we just give people crayons or pens and pencils and tell them to draw away. One important question for me, that may not have been fully addressed during the pre-proposal meeting is that I'm thinking of motifs. What are objects that remind you from the neighborhood about Consessing? What are some important objects that you think of when you think Consessing? And we're hoping, or we're counting on the community to draw and to describe in whichever way they can, like, let us know more of these objects. And the mural is really malleable in terms of including those objects.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to cut you off because it's been 10 minutes. That was awesome. So much energy. Thanks.
I knew I was going to talk more than 10 minutes. I knew it.
All right. Last but not least.
Hello, you can actually go to the first slide page. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. The time that I spent in Philadelphia looking at the site at King Sessing was deeply meaningful to me. I would say even transformative, and I really kind of went away to think about how I could create something that was magical, beautiful for the site. I'm Sharmis Ray, and I've been an artist and educator for 20 years now, and I've worked in diverse materials over that period of time. My work is inspired by human spirituality, and what I mean by that is a connection to ourselves and each other. I work with abstraction using color and geometries to bring joy and upliftment to anyone who comes upon my work. In that way, I think of abstraction as being inclusive and unifying. It has the potential to bring people together. And the project, the name of my project is Hope Garden. You can go to the next slide page. So this proposal presents an artistic vision inspired by Bartram's Garden, a beloved community space close by F.J. Myers Recreation Center, known for its sense of hope, natural beauty, and peacefulness. My design reimagines the essence of the garden in an abstract and imaginative way, creating a magical garden environment both inside and outside the building. The artwork will feature flowing geometric forms and layered shapes that echo leaves, petals, and trees. By using a palette centered on greens, blues, and purples, the project aims to create a calming atmosphere that welcomes visitors and encourages moments of reflection and emotional grounding.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to the next one. The materials will include durable 12 by 12 printed ceramic tiles. These materials were chosen for their longevity, safety, and ability to hold vibrant color year-round. Inside the we can go to the next one actually, because I'm going to talk about oh, well, these are a few more images actually. Well, actually, can you go back? Sorry. We can maybe look at these images a little bit more if you can go back to the last one as well. So there are certain motifs I use that I've created. I have a kind of encyclopedia of forms that I create. And so I took many pictures at Bartram's Garden, and these flower patterns that you see here at the bottom were actually designed thinking of some of the flowers that I saw there. There was that beautiful lake. And so there is this kind of rainbow path going up, a colored path. It was magical, really walking around that garden, and it was so deeply peaceful and calming. I could see why the community, they love it so much. And here, you see the blue here represents the sky. Color is very symbolic to me, and, colors represent energies. And so green is, for growth, abundance, prosperity. Blue is calm, brown is grounding, and, all these, and purples and pinks are wisdom, ideas, and so forth. Red is, of course, vitality. So all of these, I think of color very symbolically, and I've kind of woven in that idea of color, of color symbolism into this. At the center, you see this leaf pattern motif as well. And this is, I call it a cosmic flower. This, big central motif is a cosmic flower. And so we can go to the next one. This is the interior, and it relates to the exterior pattern along the ideas of growth, abundance, bringing in hope. What I really sensed from spending time with this community was strength, resilience, love for each other, hope, and those are some of the ideas that I was working with abstractly. In this work. And so inside the design will mirror the exterior's materials, giving visitors a sense of stepping into an abstract garden that feels both familiar and dreamlike. The concept behind this design is to offer the community a space that symbolizes renewal and serenity. By abstracting the natural forms of Bartram's garden, the artwork expresses the idea that beauty and hope can grow in many forms, especially in urban environments where peaceful moments are deeply needed. And that also relates to what some of the community shared with us about their struggles and challenges. And, there's the symbol of the lotus flower as the flower that grows, out of challenging conditions, and it, is considered a perfect flower. So I wanted to bring some of those ideas into this as well. Um, that beauty and hope can grow in many forms, and especially in urban environments. And so the emotional qualities of calm, wonder, and uplift are central to the piece, aligning with the community's vision for a space that supports wellness, belonging, and pride. We can go to the next slide. Community engagement is really important to me. I have been an educator for 20 years now, alongside my artistic practice. I've led hundreds of workshops bringing together art and spirituality, and people of all denominations and faiths can join these workshops. They really are about collective healing, and using art as a medium. And so my idea for community engagement is going to play an important and sustaining role throughout the project, especially given the deep history and underrepresentation of this resilient and beautiful Philadelphia community. You inspired me so much while I was there. So I'd like to host workshops, open sketch sessions, and informal conversations at Bartram's Garden. So that the project creates multiple entry points for residents of all ages to participate in the creative process. These gatherings become opportunities for people to reflect on their personal connections to the garden, its landscapes, memories, and rhythms, and to voice what they hope to see represented in the artwork. Participants will be invited to share stories, favorite colors, patterns from daily life, and the emotions they want the environment to evoke, whether joy, calm, pride, or curiosity. Listening closely to these contributions ensures that the final design is not imposed from the outside, but shaped collaboratively. In this way, the artwork becomes a living expression of the community's voice, aspirations, and lived experience, honoring their presence and perspective. So I think that brings me to the end of my slideshow. I may have been one of the quick ones.
No, you're good. That's
Okay,
very
good.
good.
Okay, good.
I know when you talk sometimes in front of people, you lose all sense of time.
Okay.
But that's good. So I just want to say thank you to all of the artists and recognize what an immense amount of work you all put into it. And I really feel from all of you the respect that you hold for the community. So I want to say thank you. And I'm sure everyone else on the call also, wants to give you a round of applause. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That was so inspirational. All right, we're going to move on to the Q&A. So now it's time we want to hear from the folks from the community and the committee members. I just want to go over some housekeeping. We invite you to use the raise hand feature. So if you want to go down, you can click the raise hand and a little emoji will pop up and I can call on you. Or if you don't know how to do that, you can just really raise your hand and I'll call on you. And then, yeah, you can unmute yourself and share your question or your comment. We encourage a conversation with the finalists, but also ask that you respect everyone's time and ability to ask a question during this meeting. So please don't ramble on for like 3 minutes. Be a little succinct. And then also just remember to keep yourself muted when you aren't speaking because the background noises can be a little distracting. And just remember, if we don't get to your question or comment tonight, there is going to be that public survey. So we will get to hear from everybody, even if it's just not right now on this Zoom call. And final thing, and the most important for me, is please share your honest thoughts. But please make sure to give feedback the way you'd want to be treated. Be polite, kind, constructive, and respectful. So even if you maybe don't like the design or something, you don't necessarily have to say it just like that, right? Say it in a way, yeah, just remember they've put a lot of work into it. And yeah, give people feedback the way you want to receive it. And that is it. I've got these images we can look up as we discuss. And I see Christine's hand is up.
My hand, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh my God, my hand is up because I wish I was a millionaire because I would commission each and every one of you, not just for this project, but so many other projects that could happen throughout the city of Philadelphia that I think would really change the behaviors and the mindsets of so many people. I am sitting here so full of, oh my God, when I say you have captured and you actually heard what was being said to you at these community engagement meetings, I just want to thank you and applaud each and every one of you. And if I find $1 million or more dollars tomorrow, I will definitely commission each and every one of you to do not just this project, but others. Thank you so much.
And I agree to that too. The Powerball is up to like what, $1 billion. So one of us might be able to soon.
Oh my goodness, yes. Thank you.
All right. Who else would like to make a comment or ask a question? Diane, yes.
I agree with everything Christine said. And it was just, excuse me, wonderful to see the very strong and well thought about
Yes.
and emotionally thought about results of the work that all the artists put into their visuals. I did want to ask the second proposal, I think the artists are in Senegal.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's correct. Yes.
And
yes, exactly.
Yes.
Since their connection was really broken up,
yeah.
I wanted to know how often they would be coming to Philadelphia to engage with the community, because I think based on the presentation, unfortunately, the connection between where they are and Philadelphia might not be as powerful if they were going to, for instance, hold a brainstorming class or something with a group of people. So I'm a little concerned about that.
Okay. Can I answer?
Yes.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm from Philadelphia and I come to Philadelphia often, and we've traveled to the United States many times for mosaic projects, and we've stayed for 3 months or more,
Six.
you know, 3 to
Wow.
6 months at a time to do these projects in the communities. And, you know, my family is in Philadelphia, so it would be a good opportunity to be there. And we would definitely do everything in person in Philadelphia with the community. So that's how we work.
Okay,
Really engaging the community, getting to know people, and, you know, creating magic.
thank you. That's very informative. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that question, Diane. Yeah, we don't want people to rule them out totally, right? Because, yeah, their family is here and they can stay, and you homeschool your children, right? So they would come with you and that wouldn't be an issue. Wonderful. Who else has a question or comment? Don't be shy.
Masala has her.
Maybe the artists have questions for each other.
Or
Not gonna...
maybe the artists have questions for the community about their designs.
Oh, okay.
Well, I do want to just commend all the artists. I'm very inspired, and King Sessing will be happy no matter what direction you all go. So kudos and congratulations to each of the finalists, and I'm glad to just be a part of this group. So thanks again for that.
I feel the same way. Completely echo what you're saying, Reginald.
Yes.
Yeah, I echo the two of them. Like I was already excited when I ran into y'all, and also realizing that and I have like a really awesome mutual friend. I was just like, wow, this is kind of hard. I want everyone to win, and but it's really cool to see what y'all made. I'm looking at you, Reginald, man. I'm gonna come to Houston, bro.
Yeah, I'm true.
And battle you on the stained glass.
There we
It
go.
looks so it looks so good. Or or work with you on the stained
We'll
glass.
be praying for Miss Riddick to hit that Powerball, right?
Right. As soon as she gets it, man, she ain't gonna forget us.
I won't. That's right. No, I won't forget.
Yeah, I want to add mine too.
Je vais changer la connexion. Changer la connexion.
We can still hear you. Maybe
you can
but
hear
your
me?
lights went out. Yeah.
Electricity cut. Wow.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not
they're
an
in the dark.
I don't know what it is.
No, it's not.
It's not an electricity cut. Something just happened.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's back. So sorry. This was a really great experience for me so far. You know, I really loved meeting all of you, all of the artists, and spending time with you that first day. And I don't like competitions. I'm not like into that. So it's just really, you made it so nice for me. And I just want to thank all of you and all of the people of Creative Philadelphia. You've been so generous and kind and patient, and thank you so much. And especially Paige, you really have made it, you know, a good experience.
Well, right back at all of you. You guys have also made it an amazing experience. And I see that Charmaine has raised her hand. Maybe we have a question.
Yes, and I apologize because I'm using my phone and I couldn't find the raise hand feature, but I found it. Just first and foremost, want to say a big thank you to all four artists because the artistic ability of all is just phenomenal. So
Yes.
want to absolutely say thank you and congratulations to all four for getting to the stage. I just wanted to find out because I heard Reginald mention that the budget for his piece, that he kept that in mind to make it feasible. Do any of the other artists have any concern about budget and being able to render the pieces that they're using? Is that of concern, or did everybody keep that in mind and there won't be any issue to get it done? Just curious about that.
Yeah, I definitely did some research. I did a lot of research actually on the budget. and what we were provided. And I completely understand Reginald when he says he had to break up that pattern. At least that's what I understood, because that's also why I didn't use the entire surface of the exterior, because
Okay.
It's just not realistic.
Yeah.
From at least, for the research I did, and I wanted to be, more accurate in terms of what I represented and what I can actually achieve, accomplish, and deliver. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for that.
We definitely don't have any concerns when it comes to the budget. I mean, in the same fashion, the front facade is designed in such a way that it's not, filling the entire space to also allow for the budget to make sense. But for what we propose, we are completely confident that we can, create this work and within the budget, well within the budget.
Okay. Cool.
And I'll just say everybody probably has a different way that they would be fabricating and different materials, which might allow, some techniques might be able to take up more space than others. But just so that everybody will be required to submit a budget, and the committee will be looking at that, and we'll make sure that everything is realistic. But from what I'm seeing so far, so good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Any final questions? Okay, I'm going to start to wrap this up. Stick with me for about 3 more minutes. So I want to tell you about the next steps, which is a public input survey. Let me grab the link. I'm going to put the survey in the chat. Okay. And you can fill it out. So you're going to get recaps of everything that you've just seen. There will be a 300-word description that explains the artwork and the community engagement that people are going to do. You'll also see 4 images of the artwork. And if you want, you can also listen to an audio recording. It should be 1 or 2 minutes per person that just sort of summarizes everything, but it's similar to what's in the written description. And after you look at all of those, there will be a rubric. You're going to rate them 1 through 5, and you'll also be able to add in comments. This is going to be open until January 8th. And after that point, we're going to collect all the information and give it to the artists. They'll be able to digest that, and depending on what people say, they may or may not make changes to their proposals. And then once they have their final design, they're going to present that to the committee that I talked to you about, and that committee is going to select a winning artist. So we want as many people from your community to complete this as possible. So please feel free to share that link far and wide with your friends and family who use the space or live in the neighborhood. And I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Please stay in touch, and eventually you'll find out who the winning artist is, and I hope you come to their community engagement. But again, thank you so much to the artists. You are all awesome, and I hope everyone has a very, very, very nice night.
Thank you all. Happy holidays.
Bye, everybody.
Again, happy holidays. All right.
Happy
Good night,
holidays,
everyone.
everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Excellent job, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful. I don't know how to get it off. Okay.
Good night. Happy holidays, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I know, like